Hey everyone, Bob of All Trades here, back with another video, and again with my 2014 1200 XR Skidoo. The last video was how to switch the controls from the XR controls over to the XS. Check out my previous video on how I achieved that. Today, I'm just going to show you how I did launch control with the Motec M400. Under here, we have the M400 Motec mounted nicely in there with a bracket that I made up. Bracket is available on Talk. Fabbed it up with some 1/8" aluminum, bent it all in there, fits perfect. All the wires nicely tucked in. With the launch control on the M400, you have to have a negative input, which is this wire right here. So, negative input means you have to have a ground. Some guys take the hand grip and they mount a monetary switch somewhere around here. And when they press the switch, it goes into launch. Then you can throttle up to your selected RPM and get your PSI on your turbo. And then when you release the button, away you go. I didn't want to do that because I wanted to add a layer of safety. So I wanted to incorporate the launch into the brake control. However, when you apply the brake, it is a positive output. So, over here, near the battery box, I incorporated two 12-volt relays, mini relays. You can't quite see them because they're taped together. However, they are grounded out and triggered by a switch up here under my GPS. When I turn this switch on, it's going to activate one of these relays. Then, when I press the brake lever, it's going to activate the second relay, which is going to send a ground signal to the Motec and tell it that it's in launch control. Then, when I press the throttle, it's going to go into launch control. I wanted to do this for two reasons. One, as I mentioned, that I wanted the safety of having the brake on while in launch, so I wouldn't accidentally launch into somebody or something. And two, without that switch on, the launch control is completely deactivated. If you have a monetary switch right here, if for some reason you had your thumb on it or something, it could go into launch control, and when you're cornering in a trail or something like that, it's going to think you're in launch, you're going to decrease your RPMs, and I don't know what the outcome would be. So what I'm going to do is I'll start it up and we'll put it in launch, and I'll show you exactly how we do it. So we'll turn the machine on. We have our air-fuel ratio going on here, our boost over there, and we'll go ahead and start it. So I already had the switch on for showing you earlier in the video. So I have a couple of switches under my GPS, which are for different things. But the first one is going to be a very bright blue. And that's going to tell me that my launch control is active. Then, when I pull my brake, it's going to activate the second relay, and now it's in launch control, And if I hit the throttle, it will not go forward. However, it will go up to my set PSI and my RPM. So I'm going to put the camera down and I'll show you exactly how this is done. I'm going to leave that switch on and go into launch control. So as you can see, I don't have my hand on the brake. So the machine wants to go forward. But as soon as I put my hand on the brake, it's now in launch control. So I wanted it set up like that. So now, when I turn that off, it's completely out of launch. So that is another option if you're running Motec. That's another option you can do. You just have to have a little know-how on how to run a relay or two relays, how to hook a few things up and go from there. So I hope this gives you a little bit of an idea on how you can set up your launch control.